Hey everybody, Ryan here with Ray's Latest, and today we're going to talk about Shane McClanahan signing the newest deal with the Tampa Bay Rays, as well as some arbitration eligible players that we need to kind of deal with before January 8th of 2026. First of all, let's just dive into this McClanahan news. So Shane McClanahan, the primary ace of the Tampa Bay Rays, left-hander from USF, has signed a one-year, $3.6 million deal with the Tampa Bay Rays. And now, if you don't know how kind of arbitration works, it's once a player serves a certain amount of service time, which is 3 years, then they enter arbitration, which is it's weird kind of how Major League Baseball does this and no other sport does this, but I kind of like it. And it's a way to where you can kind of work around rookie deals. And so you see for the most part in like the NBA and the NFL, first rounders, they get pretty big chunks of change when it comes to their rookie deals. Like 4 years. Well, actually, I'll take that back. So in the NFL, for an NFL standard, I know that rookie deals are all league minimum, but your signing bonus is just a hefty $35 million dollars if you're the first overall pick. So it kind of weighs itself out a little bit, and you're immediately playing the next year. When you get drafted in April, you're playing in August. So from an NFL standpoint, it kind of makes a little more sense why they don't have this because you get the player immediately contributes to the active roster, professional roster. Major League Baseball is a little different. You get your 1-1 pick gets like $8.5 million signing bonus, and then their minor league salary is 250 or $2,500 rather a month to go play in Double A. So it's a little different when it comes from a salary standpoint. So arbitration does make a little more sense once it gets into you make the big leagues and things of that nature. But in layman's terms, arbitration is once you play 3 years in the big leagues. Then it's pretty much so agents in pretty much all sports really, but mainly in baseball need law degrees. And this is because arbitration is court. So you go to court and a judge pretty much decides if a player is worth enough money than as he's saying he's worth, and he's worth as much money as the club saying he's worth. And they just go back and forth in pretty much a bidding war for where the clubs don't want to pay them this much money. He thinks it pretty much comes down to, let's just say, for example, let's just take Junior Caminero, for example. He hit 40 home runs last year in his rookie year. He's unbelievable. Let's just say he does that for another 2 years. He's fantastic. And him and his agent want more money compared to his rookie deal. Perfect. Okay. So you go to arbitration court because a club thinks you should get this much money. You think you should get this much money. And then it's pretty much a judge just decides, okay, this is how much money you're going to get. So this is nice for the Rays, though, from a perspective of if you sign deals before you go to arbitration court, you don't have to go to arbitration court. So this is pretty much just McClanahan kind of completely going aside from going to court and just taking the 3.6 million and just saying, okay, I'll take it. We'll play this year. He hasn't pitched since 2023, so it's kind of one of those safety nets for him. He's kind of like, yes, I want to kind of get this done because I don't know how arbitration court's going to go for me because I haven't played in a year and a half. So it makes a little sense from his perspective, from him and his agent. So I do like kind of getting a deal done with him beforehand, just primarily because I love McClanahan as a player and a pitcher, and I think he's the best pitcher on our staff. And I mean, when he's at his at his best, he was an all-star starter. So when he's at his best, he's one of the best, if not the best pitcher in baseball. I think Tarek Skubal and Paul Skeens have kind of make that a league of their own. But McClanahan's in that high tier two right behind him, in my opinion. And I mean, his whiff rate is unbelievable. I think there was a game 2 years ago where he threw 88 pitches and he had 36, I believe, whiffs, which is I'm pretty sure is a Statcast record. So his swing and miss, his ball just plays unbelievably well. And if he can just stay healthy for a full season, the sky's the limit for this guy. And I think signing him to a deal before he goes to arbitration court is fantastic. Kind of get him locked in, get that whole thing out of his mind. Kind of give him an extra month, 3 weeks, 4 weeks or so to kind of just settle into, okay, this is what I'm making this year. Let's get to work. And not saying that he wasn't gonna be thinking, let's just get to work anyways. We're gonna get to a deal, but just one thing less off his plate is fantastic, and I'm excited to see him pitch in 2026. And I think it's going to be a breakout year for him, and I'm really excited to kind of see what he does and kind of see where he kind of can build off this injury stint that he's kind of been on the last 2 years. Now I'm going to transition over to the arbitration eligible players that still need to either make deals before arbitration or are headed to arbitration court on January 8th. And those would be Brian Baker, Shane Boz, Griffin Jacks, Kevin Kelly, Ryan Pepio, Edwin Yacida, Steven Wilson, Garrett Clevenger, Nick Fortes, Josh Lowe, and Richie Palacios. That that's almost our entire bullpen and our entire starting rotation, and a starting outfielder and our utility infielder. So, and our starting catcher. So it's great from a race perspective if you think about it this way. We don't have a lot of money. The fact that we have this much players on our team going to arbitration court, where the max at you see McClanahan settle for 3.6, he's miles better than anybody else on this list. So that is a great sigh of relief for people who are worried about salary cap and things of how much money we can spend. We've got 11 players that contribute at a high level for our team that are heading to arbitration court, which at the end of the day just is a great sign for the Rays saving a lot of money. And so this is great, fantastic. I love it from a longevity perspective and from a money perspective for this team. And I think the names that kind of stand out to me obviously are Boz, Jax, and Pepio. And I think truly for me, I think Josh Lowe's kind of hit that climax for me and is just slowly heading down a slippery slope to where I kind of don't see really where the plus side is from keeping him on the roster at this point. And the only reason why I say this is because I truly believe that he's a good player. There's just no consistency. He can go on streaks where he's one of the best hitters in baseball, and then he goes on streaks where it's really hard to watch. And I think if he gets to arbitration court, I think he's going to get a little less than he's expected. But I think Pepio is going to get a little bit more of a higher annual salary compared to the others, just solely off of, I believe that he has proved the most out of everybody else on this list. Kevin Kelly has been a really good bullpen arm for us, and I think that he's going to keep improving in our system, and I think he's going to stay pitching at a very high level. But from a bullpen perspective, money-wise, it's just not as high as I think Pepio is going to get as pretty much our number 3 this season. So I'm interested to just kind of see what these guys kind of draw in from a arbitration perspective, and kind of see where these contracts land and kind of see how that adds towards our pool of money that we could possibly go out and get an extra free agent. So we'll kind of see where that lands. That's January 8th, and I'll keep you guys updated around that date to kind of see where players land, if they kind of settle beforehand or if they do end up going to court. But we'll see kind of where that lands. You guys let me know what you guys think about the McClanahan deal and kind of where these players are going to go in arbitration. And you guys have a great one.